Welcome to Musings with MastermindED. Welcome to this week's edition of Musings with MastermindED. On this week, we have a panel of educators discussing the TED Talk from 2018 called What It Takes to Be Racially Literate, delivered by Priya Volchi and Winona Guo. The link to that talk, if you would like to check it out after this episode, is in our video description notes.
Hi, my name is Kolmad Aswani and I'm currently the K2 Head of Grade at United World College, Southeast Asia. I really appreciated this video because I think it brought to light something that's really important and relevant, but not often discussed. And I also think it's really important that in schools, children get to see themselves represented not only in the student body, but also in the faculty around them. I think that's the first step in developing racial literacy, so that children can connect with people firsthand and hear their stories and their experiences. I know that it's happened with me a couple of times in my own classroom, and I don't think it's ever too early to start these conversations. Children are capable and able. In fact, just the other week we had a discussion about how we are all united and similar on the inside. I think having a strengths-based approach to it and focusing on what connects us and unites us is the next step in developing that racial literacy. So thank you so much for sharing this video.
Hi, my name's Alicia Angle. I'm a grade 2 teacher at Singapore American School. So watching the video and responding to the prompts, my first thought about how we better prepare students to have conversations about race is to start early. Research shows that unconscious biases start early, and so these conversations and part of our education system need to start with our earliest learners. Second, a lot of teachers feel uncomfortable or ill-prepared to have difficult conversations about race or see them as difficult, not just part of your job. So you need to educate yourself as an adult. It might be a podcast, it might be a book, it might be conversations with colleagues, and it might be online resources like Teaching Tolerance. And finally, a bit from the video we're sharing with all educators and colleagues is that racism is not a thing of the past. Whether it's overt racist acts or unconscious biases that come out as microaggressions, these things happen all the time and they happen everywhere. And we as adults need to help recognize that in ourselves and in our workplace, as well as when those things happen between children and during learning. Thank you.
My name is Jackie, and I am a tech integration specialist at a small school in West Michigan called Ada Christian School. I really love this video by Priya Volchi and Winona Guo. One of the reasons why is the way that they were able to distinguish between the heart and the mind that is involved in discussions about race. I recently had a conversation with my principal, and she acknowledged that since I was one of the only people of color on staff, that she felt a little bit concerned that I would have reactions to certain stories being read or different events at the school in ways that she hadn't thought before. One of the ways that I have made this relevant for my students is by acknowledging that my grandfather, who is still alive, is actually older than Martin Luther King Jr. would have been had he not been assassinated. And that puts the timeline of the civil rights movement in perspective. It wasn't hundreds of years ago. It's very relevant, and we still have work to do. For me personally, I have also addressed issues of racial slurs when one was brought up in my class that was based on a meme that was apparently on a meme that had a Chinese delivery person. So that allowed me to have a very rich conversation with a student about the meaning of that racial slur and what that would mean to repeat it as a person of the majority culture and how that might reflect on that person. So love that this conversation and that these women are raising the issue of racism and how people can talk about it within schools.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have an opinion or a topic that you would like to see us explore on Musings with MastermindED, please leave us a comment.